same time, I'd like to call this meeting of the Middlesex County Board of Chosen Freeholders to order. Please rise for a moment of silence. I would ask that you remember in your thoughts and prayers Lawrence Disbrow, Jr., who recently passed away. He is retired from our road department. Salute to the flag, Dennis.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-10, has been complied with and shall be entered into the minutes of this meeting.
Roll call, please.
Freeholder Barrett. Freeholder Delina.
Here.
Freeholder Polos.
Here.
Freeholder Rios.
Here.
Freeholder Scott. Here. Freeholder Valenti.
Here.
Freeholder Director Rafano.
Here. Now, commemorative resolutions.
We have quite a few. The first is recognizing Danita Guarino, an 8th grade science teacher at Linwood School, North Brunswick, as she is named the 2010 Middlesex County Teacher of the Year. Next is recognizing the Middlesex County Office of Emergency Management, local offices of emergency management, and public works departments for their participation in the H1N1 clinics. Next is recognizing the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office, local police departments, local superintendents of schools, and local health departments for their participation in the H1N1 clinics. Next is recognizing the winners of the 2010 Don't Drink and Drive Public Service Announcement Contest. Next is recognizing the 2010 recipients of the Good Deeds Awards, who were Kirsten Granite, Rachel Linda, Vincent Chu, Michael Fredericks, Jessica Lovich, Jessica Yang, Christina Rady, Bridget Zong, Laura McGuire, Jennifer Liu, Emily Fredericks, Sumaya Kethu, Serena Wang, Christopher Lynch, Marissa Nazario, Pranka Bandari, Nicholas Paleo III, Jay Krish Gill, Kelsey Chasin, Stephanie Mui, Sean Weeks, Alana Baruch, Melissa Cardos, Hannah Friedman, Shira Wasserman, Rod Ryan, Adam Bellitz, the Global Chelsea and Gabowitz families, and Shabbat of East Brunswick. Next is recognizing Ariel Simcha White of Boy Scout Troop 55 as he has achieved his Eagle Scout Award, and the following Girl Scouts as they have earned their Girl Scout Gold Award: Kendra Hegler, Christy Marie Elise McKenzie, Taryn Sayal, Chandler Navarra, Joy Stofers, Hillary Boff, Julia Wasey, Sarah Yagana, Rachel Drucker, Kirsten Zinikas, Neha Argawal, Natasha Anthony, Ada Chen, Stephanie Oliveira, Chelsea Diaz, Ali Lopez, Rachel Siegel, Nikita Varani, Rachel Schaefer, Michelle Frondelli, Allison Burke, Danica Kotov, Kristen Hansen, Kimberly Lucas, Rachel Lynn Kelly, and Dhruvi Shah. That's all.
Thank you. I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. Roll call.
Freeholder Delina.
Yes.
Freeholder Polos.
Yes.
Freeholder Rios.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot one. The winners of the 2010 Don't Drink and Drive Public Service Announcement Contest. Did I say that?
Yes.
Oh, then I'm really embarrassed. Freeholder Rios.
Yes.
Freeholder Scott.
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rafano.
Yes. Now it's time for presentation of the resolutions. Deputy Director Rios.
Sure. If Danita Guarino could come up, please. Want to stand over here? I'd just like to make a few comments in reference to Danita Guarino, who is chosen as the Middlesex County 2010 Teacher of the Year, because she has done many great things in her career as a teacher and in her profession. She has been recognized for her outstanding performance as an 8th grade teacher at the Linwood Middle School in North Brunswick. And she's been a teacher for 24 years, and she's also been active in the science program, also known as STEAM. She has been a member of the Einstein Fellowship Program, working with NASA, and has worked with the Stevens Institute of Technology in Hoboken, the Picatinny Arsenal, and is also an associate member of the National Academics Teacher Advisory Council in Washington, D.C. So America doesn't just have talent, so does Middlesex County. And I say thank you. There you go.
I bring over the others?
Yeah. Okay. We only have, everybody's here? Okay. If all the OEM coordinators could come up that were involved in the H1N1 program throughout Middlesex County. If everybody wants to stand over here. And I'd just like to recognize all of them. And our county OEM director, coordinator is Rory Zach, Chief Jerry Capella from Dunellen, Brian Wright from Jamesburg, Walt Endler from North Brunswick, Dom Ciccio from Old Bridge, Paul Snyder from Piscataway, Charles Ben from South River, Arthur Lundensky from South River, and Patrick Kenny from Woodbridge. All these people have been involved working with our county health department in organizing last year and getting the effort done for the H1N1 distribution. And it took a lot of work, a lot of teamwork, and they helped tremendously in allowing us to dispense the H1N1 to so many people throughout Middlesex County. And again, I stress how important the teamwork effort is and how it was done by so many. And on behalf of the Middlesex County Board of Chosen Freeholders, I say thank you for a job well done, and we really appreciate your efforts and your time and your commitment. Thank you. In our local health departments, we have Lisa Gullo, the health officer from Edison, Steve Pappenberg, from the health officer from South Brunswick, and South Brunswick Mayor Frank Giambattiste. If they're here, please come forward. And the school superintendents as well. Old Bridge Township Superintendent Dr. Ogden, Serval Carla Sutherland, Middlesex Regional Education Service Commission, Simon Hirsch, and Piscataway Dennis Bergeron, Jr. Again, this is part of the team. All these superintendents and local health officers worked very hard with our health department, with our county health director, Dave Pappy, and it was a job well done, well coordinated. And they, again, I can't stress enough how important the team effort works well. And it was so easily handled when you went there. East Brunswick was one of the places that I visited while they were doing it at one of the malls. And 2,500 people in one day. It was just tremendous. And in the schools, it's sometimes difficult to organize so many children at one time, and they did it. And to all of you, I say thank you on behalf of Middlesex County. Thank you. Okay.
Rear the polls.
Thank you, Phil.
You're welcome.
"11 years ago, we began a program with the assistance of the Middlesex County Superintendent of Schools and a gentleman by the name of Art Brown, who used to work for Middlesex County many years ago, a very hard-working, aggressive individual who had an enormous amount of television experience. In fact, many people aren't aware, those of you who know Art or knew Art, probably realized that he was a very well-known executive producer with WABC Worldwide Sports and was involved with everything from the Olympics to some of their national and international telecasts. So having him on our staff was certainly a great plus. At one point, I had approached him and suggested an idea of trying to put together a contest to involve high school students to develop their own public service announcement videos about the dangers of drinking and driving. Together, we worked on the concept, the plan, the contest rules and regulations, and with the great support of the superintendent of schools and staff, we were able to unveil the first annual Don't Drink and Drive contest. I think that year we had 9 entries from high schools around Middlesex County. We opened it up to public and parochial high schools. We had 9 entries, and it was a very successful program. We smile because, I'm smiling a little bit because when we did it the first year, we received the entries. Those of us on the committee sat at the superintendent's office. We had a cup of coffee. I think we brought in some donuts, and we tried to judge them, and we gave the awards soon thereafter. I smile because 11 years later, we have a program that has grown in breadth and depth beyond our wildest dreams. We now have co-sponsors that include the Division of Highway Traffic Safety, Robert Wood Johnson University Hospital Brain Injury Prevention Division. We have received funding now successfully for the last 9 years, and that funding has increased to provide even better opportunities. The program has expanded from just videos to videos and audio tapes, including English, as well as we've done bilingual English and Spanish entries as well. We've had opportunity to be involved with Rutgers University Division of Alcohol Studies, and in fact, we have representatives from that university on our committee. So it is exciting to see this little program grow, and it grew as a result of the hard work and dedication of all the volunteers who have been involved in helping develop the program, and it grew because of the strong support that we received from the schools, from the principals, the superintendents, certainly from the students and the teachers who are here today. So I'm pleased to tell you that we're celebrating today the 11th annual award ceremony for our Don't Drink and Drive contest, and tonight we're going to be presenting to you the 3 winners in our audio division, and then our 3 winners in the video division, and then I'll be asking those school representatives who are here tonight to please come up so that you can accept a commemorative resolution on behalf of the Board of Chosen Freeholders. I want to also recognize Carol Burns, who's here, who's our project coordinator, who's been working this program for the last few years, and she's done a wonderful job. So Carol, if you can ask Joe to begin with the audio entries. We're going to see them in order. Hear them in order, I should say.
March 15th was supposed to be Nicole's special day. but instead her parents and guests are listening to a different tune.
Which would you rather hear?
Please don't drink and drive.
Hi friends, Chelsea Morosky here for you to not drink and drive. Wow, what a bad decision that is.
Yo, what's good?
What's good, my brother Master Slays?
See, bitch?
And see, Money.
Here to tell you that drunk driving is whack.
Driving while intoxicated has become a major problem among today's adolescents.
There are a million ways to say it, but the message is clear.
Don't drink and drive.
Welcome to Kamikaze Airlines Flight 903. This is your pilot, Captain Morgan speaking. We would like to thank you for choosing us on your trip from Newark to possibly your afterlife. Right now, the skies are kind of blurry, and if you look to your left, you can see the Atlantic Ocean, and if you're looking for me, I'll be at the bar. You should expect some turbulence due to my inebriation, and there's a slight chance of precipitation and a 50% chance of a safe landing. Thanks again for choosing us and putting your safety in our hands as we escort you to your final destination.
You wouldn't trust a drunk pilot, so why would you trust a drunk driver? You have a choice who drives you home.
Well, let's hear it for our audio entries. I'd like to invite up, starting with our third place winner for audio, representing Perth Amboy Vocational High School. Principals here, Mr. Robert Fuller. I believe we have Esperanza Rosario and Paige Fenton, as well as the advisor, Bridget Hill. Welcome all. Thank you, everyone. Our second place winner from East Brunswick High School, we have the advisor here tonight, Dana Spinello, as well as one of the students, Chelsea Rose Morosky. And our first place winner from Piscataway High School, advisor LaRon Lee, students Jessica Eraglu, Phil Giannino, and Scarlett Hernandez. As I mentioned to you, the program has grown. For the last few years, the program consists of obviously the students developing, producing, writing their own audio or video entry, starring it as well as filming it and so forth. But what we've done for the last few years, which is extremely exciting, is rather than just culminating in an award ceremony, we have almost an all-day forum that we've put together. And we have speakers that come in, we do some play acting, we do some behavioral issues. We've had the state police involved, the George Street Playhouse is involved with it, and it becomes something that's very exciting for the kids to participate in. We did it this year at our fire academy, so we had the students actually drive our golf carts, which is another program that we do where we put students in fatal vision goggles to drive in golf carts around a special course. So it's a very tactile kind of an experience for them. So a great day, exciting one. It culminates in the award ceremony and a luncheon that's also done that day. So this is really a follow-up to that. Now we're going to go to our video entries, starting with our third place winner.
When you drink and drive, you're risking a lot. Your life can change in the blink of an eye. It's really easy to lose control. Death is always near, waiting for you to make a mistake. Before you know it, you'll be lying in a coffin. So before you drink and drive, think about it.
Let's hear it for our video entries. We have two schools with us tonight. I'll start with the second place winner from Middlesex High School. I believe our students are here tonight. Richie Sanchez, Danny Sanchez, and John Zalesny. And our first place winner is team is also here from East Brunswick Votech, Principal Jeff Bisco, Caitlin Perry, student, and Matthew Silve, student, I believe are here. Also the advisor, Sonia Paprata, is also here. And let's hear it for Emily Cates. All the expenses relating to this event, as well as the prize money, which is given to the schools to go towards their anti-drinking and driving campaigns and programs, is provided by the State Department of Highway Traffic Safety, and we're very proud to be a sponsor, have them as our main sponsor. We take the tapes, the winning tapes, and we circulate them to all the local cable channels, as well as playing them on YouTube. So if those of you want to go on YouTube to go see them, you can certainly do that tonight as well. We get quite a number of hits on it. I'd just like to close, if I may, on this portion with one more comment, Director. We have a lot of students here tonight, teachers and representatives, and we have a lot of advisors. And I know that there have been and will be other presentations tonight involving some of the other students with the Good Deeds Award and so forth. As much has been said in the last few months about boards of education and costs, and there's a lot of rhetoric going on at the state level with respect to costs and budgets. I hope that we always continue to remember, and I'm not here to debate the merits of those issues, I hope we continue to remember how important our teachers are to our students, what a wonderful job the schools do in Middlesex County to educate our students, to provide opportunities like this. Both of our programs tonight that we're going to be giving awards for, I think, are wonderful programs. We have great students, great talent, and great leadership in our schools that help nurture that talent each and every day. So regardless of the issues, regardless of the rhetoric, regardless of all of those other issues, I hope we never forget the enormous value and importance of our education system, the wonderful teachers, principals, and advisors that we have. They deserve our support. They do a great job with our students and our kids every single day. Thank you.
I'm just going to hold the meeting for a minute for those that want to leave at this point. Correspondence?
Each freeholder has been provided with a list of correspondence received by the clerk's office since our last meeting. This correspondence will be kept on file in the office of the clerk of the board for reference.
I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. I need a motion to accept the minutes of the March 18th, April 8th, and 22nd, 2010 meetings.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Ayes have it. Reports of freeholders. Freeholder Stephen J. Pitalina.
Okay, thank you, Freeholder Director. I have with me tonight copies of the summer schedules for the scenes for our entertainment, which is currently, was just printed up today. Will be mailed out to everyone who subscribes to it. With our Summer Plays in the Park production featuring 1776, The Wedding Singer, and the High School Musical. You can find information including performance dates and times. Also in the guide are the details of our free summer music concerts series that are held in the month of July and August. Concerts will be presented at the Raton Bay Park in Sayreville, the Waterfront Park, and also Spring Lake Park on Sundays from 6:30 to 8, at Warren Park on Sunday from 6 to 7:30 p.m., and at Thompson Park in Monroe on Wednesday afternoon from 2 to 3:30. All types of music are featured, and you are sure to find something that you really like. Please make sure that you check the back of our guide for the information on our 5th annual Labor Day weekend concert, scheduled Sunday, September 5th. One of the biggest concerts in the state of New Jersey. Last year we had almost over 3,000 people. The free concert will be held in Roosevelt Park and will feature the Jukebox Heroes by the Mahoney Brothers and the Fabulous Grease Band. We try to get a bigger band, but these are the biggest. They're the tops. That's my feeling. We heard these bands. They played a couple times up there. We're really fortunate to get two good bands. The Grease Band is great. And Dune currently received a hard copy of our newsletter. Feel free to call Jackie Neal at 732-745-3936, and she will add your name to the mailing list. If you'd like to receive electronic copies of our newsletter, please go to www.playsinkinpark.com and follow the directions. We will do the rest, and you can we always will help you and have a free situation of all the guys and all the other plays that we do have in our parks. I have also with me tonight an updated nature trail guide from the John A. Phillips Preserve Conservation Area. The guide was prepared by the naturalists, and it's filled with interesting information for anyone who would like to hike on the trail. The guide can be found at the trailhead by the soccer fields in Phillips Park, or you can call Rick Lear at 732-745-5988, who will send you a copy. He's our environmentalist. And that's about it, Freeholder Director.
Thank you,
I got the copies here. If anybody would like, it gives you all the copies of everything we have for the summer. All the concerts, all the plays in the park also. So if you want them, they'll be up here. Thank you.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Paulos.
Thank you, Director. Couple of items. Our road department is doing our municipal paving program. I should probably note for the record that this year we've had less participation from our municipalities than we have in years past. Needless to say, the budget crunch and the economic situation is affecting our community's decision to be able to proceed with road milling and repaving, and we certainly understand that. However, there has been a substantial reduction in the number of participants this year, and we hope that next year we'll be back up to speed. You may have read in the paper, it's gotten a lot of press, it seems, yesterday and today, about the tall grass along some of the state roadways that at times intersect county roads, municipal roads, and even our federal highway system, which is of a concern to some of our police officials for safety reasons, people being unable to see oncoming traffic or merging properly. Two comments. One, the unkept grass has certainly been an issue. We believe it's been an issue at the county for a number of years. We are always frustrated by the fact, although I have to admit this year it seems worse than in prior years, but from a county road perspective, we're often very frustrated that when our county road bisects or intersects with a state right-of-way, it always seems that the county road looks great. Then there's this length or stretch of state road where there is unkept grass that's kind of growing out of control. Then we get back onto the county road. I will say to our residents, sometimes we get those phone calls in our road department, why can't you maintain the road better? I'll give you a small example. There's Woodbridge Avenue that runs between Highland Park and Edison. When it runs over Route 1, it's state. But prior to that and after that, it's county. And I probably get a dozen phone calls every summer from residents saying, how come you can't cut the rest of it? We're not allowed to cut state right-of-ways. We can only maintain our only our own road network. So I guess I say two things. Number one, from the county road department's perspective, we agree that the maintenance of the state highways has been a problem, perhaps this year worse than in years prior. It is a safety issue that we're concerned about, and we would hope that the DOT could do more. I will also say this. I would like to compliment our department, our county road department, for doing such a great job. You know, each year our staff continues to dwindle. Each year we're doing more with less. We're taking on more county roads, assign more road networks to maintain, and every year we have less people to do it with. Yet somehow they're able to magically make it happen. During the summer we do bring on some summer help to help some students, but I think that they do a wonderful job, and I want to thank Dave Campion and his road department because when you look at the county roads as compared to the state roads, it's certainly night and day and a job well done. We did receive an extension from the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities with respect to our audit and work that's going to be done for our energy improvements out at our North Brunswick complex. And we also launched a couple of weeks ago our new Plainsboro shuttle. It is the first time that a shuttle has been developed in our county that bisects two counties. We're connecting Mercer with Middlesex County. Our shuttle is running from Jamesburg into Plainsboro and ending at the train station in Mercer County. It's a great shuttle. It's going to provide wonderful opportunities for employment as well as for senior and disabled transportation. And I believe our first day of service, we had something like 48 trips on our first day, which is a huge number of trips for the announcement of a county paratransit shuttle like that. So we're very pleased with the progress that's being made there. And Director, just one comment, because I don't know if we'll be able to make it later. I know that Judy Shaw will be making a presentation later, and you'll be recognizing her for that. I just wanted to say that I've had the pleasure of knowing Judy for a number of years, and I think she's doing a wonderful job with her sustainability initiative for the river. It's been a pleasure working with her in the last few months on this initiative, and I know with her stewardship, this will be a great success in our county and something that will go well beyond the borders of Middlesex County as it should to make our river sustainable and create good economic development opportunities. So welcome tonight, Judy. Thank you, Director.
Thank you, Freeholder. Deputy Director Rios.
Thank you, Director. I'd like to announce that, let everyone know that on May 20th, our county college, and I mentioned it briefly last meeting, but I want to mention also that we had the largest class in our history at the college. We had 1,415 students graduate. It was the 43rd annual commencement exercises. Our valedictorian was, I hope I pronounce his name correctly, Zizao Zhao. He delivered the class welcome, and he was the valedictorian. And what an inspiration and what a story. He emigrated from China 2 years ago. 2 years ago. He earned a 4.0 grade point average as a triple major in math, physics, and engineering science. And he also is the recipient of the 2010 Jack Kent Cook Transfer Scholarship, which is the largest and most prestigious in the nation for students transferring from a community college. And he will receive up to $30,000 per year for 3 years. He's planning on attending the University of California at Berkeley. But what a story, and it's a proud moment for us at Middlesex, in Middlesex County and for Middlesex County College. As far as our vocational school goes, we have a senior student from our Academy for Science, Mathematics, and Engineering Technology, Joseph Schiavone. He was selected as one of 141 students nationwide for the 2010 U.S. Presidential Scholars winner. How tremendous is that? I mean, it just speaks for itself, the talent that we have here. And he also will be honored for his accomplishments in Washington in June 19th through the 22nd. The Governor's School 2010 Our Middlesex County Academy for Science, Math, and Engineering Technology will have students attending the prestigious Governor's School for the 6th year in a row. There will be a total of 3 Junior Academy students attending the separate Governor's School. We have a Yegor Chakmarev, a resident of Edison. He will be attending the Governor's School of Engineering and Technology at Rutgers. We have Calvin Lai, a resident of Piscataway, will be attending the Governor's School at the Richard Stockton College of New Jersey in Pomona. And then we have Wesley Chen, a resident of Edison, who will be attending the Governor's School at Drew University. So again, America doesn't only have talent, we have plenty of talent right here in Middlesex County that we have to be proud of because they do such a great job in the schools, and we have such great students that are really excelling. As far as my health report, the Environmental Division is continuing their water pollution program, and they've been working hand in hand with the DEP on ambient stream bacterial monitoring. And as far as my health report goes, I'd like to invite everyone, all my Freeholder colleagues, this Saturday at 9 o'clock at Roosevelt Park. From 9 to 11, we will be having a pancreatic cancer walk to raise funds for cancer research. This is something near and dear to my heart because I lost my mother in 1995. We lost the battle for pancreatic cancer. It's such a devastating disease, not only on the individual that gets the cancer, but their families and friends as well. And we were raising money since we started initiating this for this year, and we're doing well. And the first 300 people that sign up will get a free t-shirt. We'll have people there. We're going to have many students from the vocational schools that will be assisting with us. The Cancer Institute of New Jersey will be there, and it will be a great thing for the cancer research. And I challenge all my Freeholder colleagues that I'll do more laps than any one of them. That concludes my report, Director.
Thank you, Deputy Director. Freeholder Scott.
Thank you, Freeholder Director. I'm very pleased to announce that an evaluation from the New Jersey Juvenile Justice Commission found that Middlesex County Youth Services Facility to be in compliance with the 13 operation areas that the state studies as part of a rigorous annual review. And I'll quote directly from a letter sent to our warden, Ed Chickey, from Gloria Hancock, who is Deputy Executive Director of Programs for the State Commission. And she wrote, "The Middlesex County Juvenile Detention Center continues to be a well-operated facility. A collaborative effort by all staff ensures a safe and secure environment at the facility. The administration is sound. The coverage provided by social services, medical, and direct care is superb." And she continues, "The visiting mail and telephone procedures encourage the residents to maintain family contacts, and the policies and procedures for room restriction and use of mechanical restraints, 2 areas which present serious issues with the secure facilities, are excellent." And Dr. Hancock also wrote that the monitoring team was impressed with their cooperation given to them during the evaluation. She wrote, "During the program evaluation, the monitoring unit was given full access to staff, residents, and all records and documents. Such transparency is noteworthy and reflects well on the facility's staff and administration. And it's obvious from the state's comments that the staff and administration of our youth services facility is a top-notch and strives to provide effective, efficient, and quality service to its residents. And as a Freeholder chairperson of Law and Public Safety, I'm extremely proud of the administration and staff in Middlesex County Youth Services. The state evaluation team looks at program and operation areas across the board and praised our facility and the staff who run it every instance. And I want to applaud Warden Ed Chickey and Superintendent Jim White and the rest of the staff for the outstanding achievement. You know, sometimes we take things for granted and we think things run on its own, but it takes hard work and dedication, and our youth facility is well run, and our employees are dedicated people. And I want to say to Ed Chickey, who was sitting out there this evening, thank you for what you do. Last week, the National Hurricane Center predicted that 2010 hurricane season, which officially began June 1st, could be one of the worst since 2005. the hurricane year Katrina devastated the Gulf Coast. Forecasters say that they expect 14 to 23 named storms, with 8 to 14 developing into hurricanes, nearly matching 2005's record at 15. 3 to 7 of these could be major hurricanes, with the winds of more than 110 miles per hour, agencies said. It only takes one hurricane to hit land in Delaware or New Jersey to cause a disaster here. I want to urge all our residents to take steps now to secure their safety, their homes, and their belongings. Important items to have ready in case of emergency include battery-operated radios, flashlights, extra batteries, medicines, non-perishable food, and a handheld can opener. Sometimes we think that automatically we're going to use electric can opener, and all of a sudden there's no electricity. Handheld can openers. And I'm quite sure we've all moved beyond handheld can openers, but let's go back and get one. A utility knife and first aid supplies. Copy and store your important documents in a waterproof bag. These may include medical records, contracts, property deeds, leases, banking records, insurance records, and birth certificates. And sometimes we also take that for granted and say, well, I have it here in this box, and I don't know where this box is when a disaster hits, and now it's an emergency. Beforehand, try to get all that stuff together. Make evacuation plans for your family and pets. Let's not forget our pets. If your household includes a person with a disability, special steps to assist them may be necessary and should be considered now. Don't wait to the last minute. Predictions are just that, predictions. We cannot know for certain how or how many major hurricanes will hit our area. But I encourage all our residents to take time now, when there is no crisis, to make plans, get needed supplies, and safeguard your loved ones and belongings. You know, right now we've gone from winter and we are into spring now, and it's extremely hot. And when we hit that weather like from cold to hot, hurricane season comes pretty quickly. And even though right now we're saying to ourselves, well, summer's here, I think we're gonna get past it. Hurricane season can come in a day's time. So it's very important that we be prepared for the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Valente?
Thank you, Freeholder Director. On page 8, where all our resolutions are on the agenda, most of this is dedicated to the Division of Human Services of the county. We are reauthorizing or authorizing support grants to a number of entities in the county that provide many services to our residents, such as Angie Emeth. It's a cost of provision of case management services to Middlesex County residents. The public donor agreement with Catholic Charities, for example. There's another big one for Women Aware. Also the ARC of Middlesex County, that will offset the cost of provision of child care services, as well as parent aid to Middlesex County College. This is the Project SPAN, support the Keep Well Camp, Fish Hospitality, the cost of provision of rotating shelter services to county residents, and on and on. It's quite a few of them here, and I refer to you to page 8, and there's also one other one on page 9. There's too many to list. I also want to bring attention to the fact that we just filmed the next Spotlight on Middlesex County, and the whole theme was McFoods. This is our county support food bank, so to speak, that was started by a previous freeholder Jane Brady, who did a wonderful job. Jennifer Apostle, who's been the director of this entity for 11 years, she actually works for the MCIA, has done an outstanding job, and as fast as the food comes in, it goes right out. And we are in great need of food. Lizanne Vincent from Elijah's Promise was one of our guests on the program. Not only do they provide meals for people in need, but they also provide social services, which is something a lot of people are not aware of. They help a lot of individuals. And Freeholder Delina announced all the plays and the concerts in the parks. I just hope that all of you that come and the public in general brings canned foods to these events, because that's a great source of food for our McFoods, which is our county distribution center. The other individual who participated in the program was Peter Barcelona from Woodbridge, that has quite an aggressive program to bring food to those that are in need. Coming up on Sunday, June the 13th, is Flag Day. It's the Massing of Color ceremony, and I invite anyone who is interested in attending at 10:30 a.m. at the New Jersey Veterans Memorial Home at Menlo Park, and there will be a ceremony to honor our Middlesex County veterans and organizations, as well as Middlesex County Elks Lodges. So the public is invited, as well as my Freeholder colleagues that are here tonight. And I think that's the end of my report, Freeholder Director.
Thank you, Freeholder. Before I introduce Judy Shaw, I have a statement I'd like to read, a good news statement. I have two positive economic items to report. First, the county sold over $53 million in bonds and then over $3 million bond anticipation note today and received outstanding interest rates on both. UBS Financial Services won the bid for the bonds, offering a net interest rate of 2.993%. Our finance officials projected a net interest rate ranging from 3.10% to 3.30%. So in other words, it came in at less than what we thought it was going to come in at. TD Securities USA submitted the low-winning bid for the bond anticipation note, offering a net interest rate of 0.5378%. The second bit of good economic news is regarding the county's bond rating. Citing Middlesex County's historically strong financial profile and its large and diverse tax base, two of the nation's leading bond rating agencies reaffirmed the county's excellent bond rating. Standard & Poor's Ratings Services assigned a AAA rating, and Moody's Investors Services assigned a AA1 rating. What the bond rating says is that Middlesex County remains fiscally responsible despite the incredible challenges of the downturn in the national economy. Excellent bond ratings like the ones assigned to Middlesex County mean the county can borrow money at low rates for things such as infrastructure improvements and construction, thereby saving taxpayers money on large projects. In its rationale, Standard & Poor's explained, and I quote, "The rating reflects what we view as the county's strong and diverse economic base, very strong income levels, historically strong financial profile, and low overall debt burden." Both rating agencies confirmed their confidence in Middlesex County's financial history and future. I applaud our Comptroller, Al Kachinkis, and his team for their continued hard work at keeping our financial house in order. I also thank County Administrator John Polomino, our department heads and staff for their continued dedication to provide quality programs and services at prices our taxpayers can afford. Thank you. Now, on to Dr. Judith Shaw of the Blaustein School of Planning and Public Policy at Rutgers University for a PowerPoint presentation on the sustainable Raritan River. Judy, you're on.
Thank you very much. Well, I'd like to just preface my remarks by my thanks to the county. We at the Blaustein School over at Rutgers have a very intimate relationship with so many aspects of what goes on in the county, as far as the role that the students play and the role that the county plays in seeing to it that our students get the very best of education. And I just want to thank the Freeholders for all that they do. This is an outcome of some work that we've been doing at the Blaustein School for the past year and a half on the Raritan River. And I'd like to introduce Jessica Ferrer, who is a MCRP as of last week, which is the Master's in Community and Regional Planning. She has been at the graduate school for 2 years and has been a direct support for this project, and I really thank her for being part of this project, which we're about to tell you about, and for her work at the Blaustein School. And if any of you would like to talk to me afterwards about why she's a highly desired employee, I'll talk to you about that too. First of all, I just want to say that this initiative started in the summer of last year with over 40 different organizations that were interested in trying to restore and then protect the future of the Raritan River. You all know that there's flooding. You all know that it's got potential for some wonderful recreation. You've done some remarkable planning here. But one of the things that's often missing is just keeping the conversation going, keeping people focused on what it is that can make this work. We had a meeting in October, and I want to thank Freeholder Valenti and also Freeholder Scott, hello to you two, for coming to join over 18 municipalities for a conversation about why we wanted to look at the Raritan River from Branchburg to the Bay. That there is a lot in common between Somerset County and Middlesex County, because what comes through the river there obviously comes here. And we really need to work together in order to make sure that we maximize the benefits of that and minimize the liabilities of that. So I want to thank you two especially for having come to that meeting. That was a very important launch for this. I'd secondly like to give some thanks to the County Planning Office. George Viverides, who is a distinguished alum of our school, thank you so much, and Missy Morrison, Mary Morrison, and also Myra Becker and Nick Tarfuro have all been very supportive of this. And basically, we have done what we've been able to do because of their assistance. In January of this year, or I guess it was December, we approached the Middlesex County Planning Office and also the Somerset County Planning Office and invited them to sponsor one of our graduate studio courses. The graduate studio provides students like Jessica with the experience of actually doing on-the-ground planning and prepares them for their careers in planning services. And Jessica is an expert in water resources, which made it perfect for her to be involved in this. So we came to George Viverides and his team, and we spoke with Jim and we spoke with John Palomino, and we just are so grateful to the county for all the support you've given us. In October, we had a float that went from Piscataway down to New Brunswick. It wasn't very big, but it was the first time that we'd ever had anything like this, and the county made its resources available to us. And Ralph Albanier, I don't know if you're still here, but Ralph played a very important part in that as well. Thank you very much. And Ron Rios, I think that our students in the public health program that like to do their internships of 225 hours with various and sundry health programs, maybe we should talk. So we can cover everybody on the DS there. But the vision of the future of the Raritan River, fundamentally the students did a great deal of homework to find out what's going on in particular the 10 municipalities here in Middlesex County that front the Raritan River, as well as those counterparts in Somerset County. And they learned a great deal about the issues that are faced by these municipalities, ranging from redevelopment and economic growth and what to do with properties that have historically been industrial properties that are no longer actively in service and how they can be redeveloped. They looked at what's going on along the waterfront in terms of greenway and open space. Much of flooding in the United States is a function of, as we all probably know, development in floodplains and in areas around rivers, which is, of course, the fact that we grew in this country around the waterways as transportation, and so that's where all the growth, the previous development is. So we have this challenge of trying to change the way we do business, trying to change to a more sustainable approach, and yet we have all of this infrastructure right at the waterfront. So it's a one step at a time process, and I want to commend the county for the work that they've done in the past on trying to develop a greenway strategy, and to the late David Craybill and the work that was done in getting the landings in place. And there's so much potential here. We're so excited to work with you, and we hope that the county will come back and ask us to do another studio course next year. This is the study area. It's a little small, but I think you all are familiar with it. It does go from Branchburg all the way down to the bay. And basically, the challenge was to come up with a vision for what could happen given all of the current circumstances, economic as well as the development pressures that we are under. And this was something that at the end of May they came up with a series of recommendations that is actually in a report that I believe each of you have a copy of. And again, thanks to the county for their support for that. Joe? What you're looking at now is a basic discussion of the assets of the river. We certainly always want to talk about the good news. The Raritan River actually provides drinking water for almost 1.7 million residents in this area. So this is a huge element of protecting the water and making sure that it is successfully used for potable drinking water. It's also a tremendous recreational draw. There is boating. As I was talking to some folks before the meeting, it's much easier to kayak in this river getting up above New Brunswick than it is to do anything motorized because of the condition of the river itself. But these are issues that we need to talk about going forward and how we can help get this into a more active recreational area, particularly, again, with the landings here in New Brunswick. So it's also an area of high birding and fishing and hiking. And as you know, economics are tied dramatically to ecological values. So if we can figure out a way to capture the recreational dollars of the people in this region, that would be a real draw for Middlesex County, and we think there's a lot to it. It's been a pleasure to meet people in your county who are doing things like protecting the migration of the salamanders over in East Brunswick and all of the birders in this area. And we're very excited that we're going to be working with the county in the coming months to take a look at what the species diversity is in the county and try and publish a report that will give a good helping of information to you on how very, very species rich this area is. Joe? Thank you. One of the other areas that the students looked at with a great deal of interest is stormwater management. I work with a gentleman at the School of Environmental and Biological Sciences by the name of Chris Obrupta, and if you haven't heard of Chris, you will. He is in the Cooperative Extension Program, and he is very active in controlling stormwater. One of the things that we know about flooding in this region is that it is exacerbated by the contributions from municipalities. And a lot of the runoff is not controlled by regulation because the regulations in New Jersey for stormwater are pretty much for new development, and of course we don't have that right now. So what we're looking at is the #1 source of water pollution in the United States coming from stormwater that brings pollutants into our water supplies. The second thing is the students actually studied the corridor. They did a quarter-mile study on each side of this corridor, and they projected that over 6 billion gallons of stormwater annually go into the river from the municipalities along the way. And when you think about that, that's an enormous amount of rainwater that actually could be captured right where it lands. It doesn't have to go into the river. It can actually be part of a stormwater management plan for a municipality. And I want to credit Carol Barrett in her absence. Jessica had the pleasure of working with her on the development of the rain garden over in, is it Johnson Park? No, Thompson Park. Thank you very much. And that's a tremendous step forward, and the county's to be commended for doing that, because what these rain gardens do is they actually capture rainwater and allow it to drain right there on site instead of going anywhere else and creating problems for roads, actually. So this is a really important thing. 40 rain gardens, 20 by 10, I think you could get 3 of them in here, treat 1 million gallons of stormwater. What you're looking at in the upper corner, I couldn't get a very good picture of it from a distance, but that is a small rain garden, 10 by 20, in front of the health department in Woodbridge. Every single storm, not just the little storms, but every storm, they have water coming into their building. Chris Obrupta helped them build this very small rain garden in the front of the building. We were over there after the last major storm, and they were gleeful. It was dry inside their building. It was dry in their parking lot. The rain garden took everything. I mean everything. So this was the first time that they hadn't had water in that building. So they were thrilled. And this is just an example of what could happen just in little tiny efforts around the county to control great stormwater damage. Okay? The last one is a little bit more ambitious, but I want you to think big on this. The uniform identity along the river, we're going to try and convince Manville that it's not just about flooding, that it's about the value added of this resource, which is the longest contiguous corridor in New Jersey. It doesn't belong to anybody else but us. It's our river. We have neighbors around the country that have recognized the economic value, the redevelopment value, the economic benefit of taking that and using it as a brand. And I'm sure all of you are familiar with this idea of branding, but the one in particular along the Susquehanna, how the river shapes our region, participating site. It's hanging on buildings and along the riverfront all over that region. It's over in Lancaster County predominantly, but it's a combination of the Historical Society and the county taking a look at the fact that they have a resource, they have something that can draw attention that's a positive thing for their communities. So what we wanted to recommend to all of you tonight is that it's a time to do these things. Capture the public imagination, highlight the region as an attraction, promote pride in Middlesex County, which you do every day, increase the stewardship of the properties here, and then to enhance the visibility of the river so that more people can come to appreciate it. The final slide is just a reminder of the value to Middlesex County, because at the end of the day, what's in it for us, right? Best management practices for stormwater reduce maintenance and insurance. Okay? Revitalization of recreational elements create economic benefits. And this regional identity will attract other businesses and promote Middlesex County as a destination. You're doing such a wonderful job in being a sustainable county. You've made so many great steps forward. We just want to work with you and keep building that. So we urge you to embrace this report. And we'd like you to work with us on how we can continue to build this with you. So that concludes my remarks, and I just want to say thank you again for everything you do. It's been a pleasure to work with you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. I don't want to belabor this, but if any of you do have any questions, I would be happy to answer them. Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. We need to deviate from the regular order of business for the purpose of introducing 6 ordinances. Clerk, would you please read ordinance 362C by title only?
Bond ordinance, amending bond ordinance number 362, various 2006 capital improvements, heretofore finally adopted by the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, on March 2nd, 2006, as amended and supplemented, to amend the description therein, authorizing the public hearing to be held on Thursday, June 24th, 2010, at 7 p.m. and publication thereof.
Okay, before I call for a vote, Al, would you please give us an explanation of this as well as the other 5?
This ordinance 362 relates to the youth center for the HVAC system that is now completed. There are funds available for various upgrades to the facility, which are the roof, bathrooms, the sewage pit, the basement, and various other building improvements. There is about $210,000 needed for that project, or those projects.
Mm-hmm.
The other 5 ordinances relate to the extension service building. There are funds available in these various ordinances that were dedicated for the extension service. Now we're adding to that description the classroom addition and various building upgrades. And there's about there is $200,000 available in the 2010 capital budget, and we have about $165,000 available in these 5 ordinances.
Okay, thank you.
And we're not creating any more debt.
Okay.
Just for your application.
I need a motion to adopt ordinance 362C on first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. Roll call.
Freeholder Delina?
Yes.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Scott?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rafano?
Yes. Now ordinance 343D by title only.
Bond ordinance, amending bond ordinance number 343, various 2003 capital improvements, heretofore finally adopted by the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey on April 3rd, 2003, as amended and supplemented, to amend the description therein, authorizing the public hearing to be held on Thursday, June 24th, 2010, at 7 p.m. and publication thereof.
I need a motion to adopt ordinance 343D on first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. Roll call.
Freeholder Delina?
Yeah.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Scott?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rafano?
Yes. Now ordinance 357C by title only.
Bond ordinance, amending bond ordinance number 357, various 2005 capital improvements, heretofore finally adopted by the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, on March 17, 2005, as amended and supplemented, to amend a description therein, authorizing the public hearing to be held on Thursday, June 24, 2010, at 7 p.m. and publication thereof.
I need a motion to adopt ordinance 357C on first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. Roll call.
Freeholder Delina?
Yep.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Scott?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rafano?
Yes. Now ordinance 372B by title only.
Bond ordinance, amending bond ordinance number 372, various 2008 capital improvements, heretofore finally adopted by the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, on May 1st, 2008, as amended and supplemented, to amend the description therein, authorizing the public hearing to be held on Thursday, June 24th, 2010, at 7 p.m. and publication thereof.
Need a motion to adopt ordinance 372B on first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. Roll call.
Freeholder Delina?
Yes.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Scott?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rafano?
Yes. Now ordinance 376A by title only.
Loan ordinance, amending and restating loan ordinance number 376, loan ordinance for the 2008 capital equipment and improvement financing program of the Middlesex County Improvement Authority, heretofore finally adopted by the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, on August 21st, 2008, to amend the description therein, authorizing the public hearing to be held on Thursday, June 24th, 2010, at 7 p.m., and publication thereof.
I need a motion to adopt ordinance 376A on first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. Roll call.
Freeholder Delina?
Yes.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Scott?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rafano?
Yes. Now ordinance 384A by title only.
A loan ordinance amending and restating loan ordinance number 384, loan ordinance for the 2009 capital equipment and improvement financing program of the Middlesex County Improvement Authority, heretofore finally adopted by the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, on August 20th, 2009, to amend the description therein, authorizing the public hearing to be held on Thursday, June 24th, 2010, at 7 p.m., and publication thereof.
I need a motion to adopt ordinance 384A on first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. Roll call.
Freeholder Delina?
Yeah.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Scott?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rafano?
Yes. I need a motion to resume the regular order of business.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Mr. Kelso?
Yes, Freeholder Director, we have one resolution to be amended on page 6, Resolution 10-942, at the request of Prosecutor Kaplan. This resolution approved Sergeant Eleazar Ricardo and Investigator Joseph Celentano to attend the 23rd Annual Gang Information Sharing Conference to be held in Baltimore, Maryland, July 12 through 16, 2010, from the Prosecutor's Trust Funds. The amendment would replace those two individuals with the following individuals. They would be Investigators Rodney Blount and Sergeant Whites, who will be attending in place of the other two. We need a yes.
I need a motion to amend that resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. Roll call.
Freeholder Delina?
Yes.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Scott?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rafano?
Yes.
Freeholder Director, there are no resolutions to be added. There are no resolutions to be held. On page 9, Resolution 10-868, as per Monday evening, is to be voided. That has been replaced by Resolution 9-77, I believe.
At this point in time, I'd like to open the meeting up to the public for discussion on resolutions listed on the agenda. And remember, there's a 5-minute rule. Anybody from the public? Mr. Stewart?
On page 5, last one down there, 934. I see we're getting more mattresses. I wondered, with all the trouble we've been having with the bed bugs, has that been a problem? Have we had to discard? Because you have people coming in and out over there.
Warden?
No, never a problem.
No problem.
No problem.
That's good to hear. Next, page 6. 938. Law books. Are the law books in the, I presume we do have law books available at the Correction Center?
Yes.
And are they up to date?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Because I know from personal experience some years back that the law books in Trenton State Prison, the ones they had were contributed by a judge. When he went on the bench, he gave his private ones. But they were not necessarily kept up to date. And it's important, really, if you're going to pretend to let the inmates have access, that they have something correct here. Thank you.
Anybody else from the public?
Motion to close.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Does any freeholder have any resolution that they wish to remove from the consent agenda and vote on separately?
I have one, Freeholder Rufano. It's Resolution 10-949.
I have one, and that's Resolution 10-957. Anybody else? Mr. Council?
Yes, Freeholder Director, motion would then be in order to adopt a consent agenda consisting of resolution numbers 10-893 through resolution 10-977, excluding resolution 10-868 to be voided, and resolutions 10-949 and 10-957 to be voted upon separately.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. Roll call.
Freeholder Delina?
Yes.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Scott?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rufano?
Yes.
Now, Freeholder Director, would be appropriate to consider the resolution excluded by Freeholder Valenti. That would be resolution 10-949.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Scott. Roll call.
Freeholder Delina?
Yes.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Scott?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Present not voting.
Freeholder Director Rufano?
Yes.
And now finally, Freeholder Director, would be appropriate to consider the resolution excluded by the Director, and that's resolution 10-957.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Valente. Roll call.
Freeholder Delina?
Yes.
Freeholder Polos?
I'm going to vote no. I know the board discussed this on Monday. I think that we should go out to rebid rather than go to the fourth bidder based on what the qualifications were and so forth. So I'm going to vote no.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Scott?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rufano?
Present not voting. Okay. I'd like to open the meeting up to the public. this point in time? Anybody from the public?
Motion to close.
Need a second?
Second.
Motion by Deputy Director Rios, seconded by Freeholder Scott. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Need a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
So move, second.
Motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Third it.
Aye.
Opposed?